welcome back to my channel. It is Twee underneath here. I really wanted to film a video on how to be a bad bitch while still wearing a mask. Unfortunately, we are still going through a crazy world at the moment with the whole coronavirus, and a lot of places around the world it is mandatory to wear a face mask. I really wanted to film a video showing you guys my top tips on how I would put on my makeup if I was going to a wedding that was abroad, that was outside, if I was going out for evening drinks to a club, and I know I'm going to be dancing a lot, I'm going to be sweating a lot, but I still want my makeup to look really smooth, really flawless, and really airbrushed. So I thought it would be really interesting to kind of film my top tips on how to make your makeup last in extreme humid heat weather. I really wanted to kind of accentuate the eyes because let's face it, when you're wearing a mask, that's all you goddamn see. So if you guys want to see how I created this makeup look, then please keep watching. Okay guys, so let's get started. It is so hot in the UK today. It is like 35 degrees and we are so used to having like minus 20 degree weather. So this is like, fry an egg on my forehead type of situation, but it's okay. We filming with the baby hair stuck to the forehead from the sweat. I've got this bling bling cha-ching ching mask on. This is from Jet Mask. God, the camera doesn't even do it justice, but it is so sparkly. The first step that you want to do when you are doing your makeup and it's really, really hot is you want to put on a good moisturizer. You want to kind of go for something that's oil-free. Obviously, you want to wear something with SPF if you are going outside. So this is the one that I'm going to use today. It's from Murad. Got SPF 45 in here. Honestly, if you have oily skin, you need this moisturizer. I love the fact it has SPF 45. I don't know why they didn't just make it 50. They should have just added the extra 5% just to round off the number, you know. I have to turn off my fan when I'm filming, so I'm so hot. Just best believe that as soon as I turn this camera off in between the takes, the fan is like this right next to my face and I'm singing, acting like a Mariah Carey. Okay, so before we put on foundation, I'm gonna do the special little TikTok trick, which is to put on powder underneath your foundation. So I'm going in with this one from Too Faced. It's the Primed and Poreless powder. This powder is really nice underneath foundation because it's quite a fine powder. I've used this trick with the Lauder Mercier powder and sometimes my foundation does go a little bit cakey, but this powder is really, really smooth. It doesn't leave no like residue on your skin. It just kind of like helps fill out your pores, which is amazing. It kind of acts like a primer. I don't know why, guys. I have really greasy eyebrows, so I just have to powder that too a little bit, you know. Okay, so foundation choice is going to be really, really important. I feel like sometimes when people think, oh, it's really hot outside, I'm going to put on like a light tinted moisturizer. Sometimes people might think that that would make their foundation last. But no, bitch, it's not. That'll probably be the first thing that kind of slides off your skin. You are going to have to go for a foundation that kind of sets by itself. So one of my favourite foundations to wear when I'm in extreme heat is the Estée Lauder Double Wear. But you don't have to do a high-end brand like this. There is an amazing foundation from L'Oreal, the Infallible Foundation. There's the Revlon Color Stay that is really, really similar to this. So quite a few drugstore options for you. Just got to pour a little bit on the back of my hand. This is the bit that I hate the most about this foundation. Like, why doesn't it come with a pump? Like, I know you can buy one, but like, can you just include it, please, Estée Lauder? Okay, guys, so I dotted this foundation all over, and I'm actually going to use a brush. This is a Smashbox foundation brush. The thing about making your makeup last is that you need to create layers. If you do like one thick layer, it's going to crack. If you guys ever think about painting your nails, if you just done one thick ass nail varnish layer, then it's gonna peel off really, really quickly. It's gonna take ages to dry down. It will never like fully set at the bottom. So you want to do really, really thin amounts of layers so you get the amount of coverage that you want. And then also when the heat kind of breaks down your makeup, it will break down the layers rather than breaking down that one solid bit of foundation. This foundation is way too dark for me, but YOLO! Okay, so now that this foundation is on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of that translucent powder just around my T-zone kind of area, because whenever I wear a mask, this is where I notice that my foundation kind of wears off the most. So I'm just putting this on the areas where I get really shiny. Again, we're layering. So I'm not doing like really thick layers of powder. I'm kind of barely tapping it. I'm just kind of like pressing into my pores. So you guys see instantly it's kind of like matte around that kind of area. And then I am going to go in with a second layer of that foundation and I'm just going to buff that on top. Obviously, the second layer that you do, it doesn't need to be as kind of like full coverage as the first layer because you already have your base on. But wherever you want a little bit more coverage, that's when you go in with a little bit more foundation. Hopefully you guys can see that I'm not using that much foundation. So I'm going in the bit where there's hardly anything left on my hand. It might feel a little bit heavier than how you normally have your foundation, but just remember the top layer is probably going to sweat off anyways. Okay, so the next step is to go in with a sponge. I really like these kind of like velvet kind of sponges. This one's from a brand called Sunday Ivy, but I think Real Techniques do these sponges as well, where it's a little bit fluffy. And the main thing that you want to do now is to make sure that the foundation is really pressed into the pores. So I'm just getting whatever's left on my hand, just the excess foundation, just so that the sponge doesn't take away any of the foundation. So it needs to have like a light layer. And then I'm really pushing this in to the pores. We want to look flawless, and this will also take off any excess foundation that will eventually come off on the mask. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to grab a setting spray, something that actually makes your foundation last longer. I really love this Urban Decay one. It's the all-nighter setting spray. I'm going to do a layer before I start to powder, so we're going to carry on this whole layering idea. Okay, and then I'm just going to spray my sponge as well. And then what you want to do is just gently pat in the setting spray. You don't want to use so much setting spray where your face is like dripping wet, because obviously that will ruin your foundation. Okay, so the next step is to go in with highlighting contour concealer. The trick is to use creams and then set everything with a translucent powder so the shades still stay put, you know. So I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is one of my favourite concealers for anything long wearing. Okay, so my contour today is going to be the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Light. I really like this product because it dries down like a powder, so it is really, really long wearing. Obviously, you don't have to do these dots. I'm just in the middle of filming some Instagram videos, so I need the dramaticness of it all, you know what I mean? So when you contour your nose, you're definitely not going to want to contour with powder because that would probably rub off on your mask. Okay, so I'm going to add my blusher now because again, if you are wearing a mask, it's going to rub off because it's like a colour product. So I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Petal Poppin. I kind of bring my blusher up a bit high because it kind of lifts my cheeks a little bit. Okay, so now that you have everything on, I'm just going to start to blend all of this puppy out. So I normally do this dabbing motion rather than sweeping because you don't want to interfere with that layer of foundation that we have underneath. Okay, so now everything is blended out, looks really, really flawless, and now this is the time you set it all in. So I'm gonna go in with the handy dandy Laura Mercier translucent powder. I think they've just launched a honey one, but I'm still waiting to get my hands on that one. Ideally, you probably do want to go in with a translucent powder because you don't want anything to be coming off the mask. So if your powder has got a color to it, that's going to be the first thing that rubs off in the mask. Normally, I would go in with a brush, but this time I'm going in with a powder puff. And when you go with a powder puff, you can really, really set everything in place. You're going to look very flawless after this, and you might feel that it looks a bit heavy or a bit cakey. Just remember that your sweat is going to kick in as soon as you step out the door. So make sure you set all of the blusher, all of the contour, because obviously you don't want that to come off your mask. So the more you set it, the less likely it's going to rub off. Okay guys, so I just done my eyebrows off camera. I used the Benefit Foolproof brow powder. My go-to, I use this nearly every single time I do my makeup. Look how grubby it is. I'm gonna go in with another layer of the all-nighter setting spray. We want to kind of keep setting the makeup as we go along. Okay, so next step obviously is optional, but you guys know I love a bit of highlighter. I'm gonna go in this one, which is from Nars. It's the Orgasm X. And because we use that all-nighter setting spray, I want to put it on while my skin's a little bit tacky still. Okay guys, so I know that might be a bit long-winded. We're finally finished the base, but now you could do any eye makeup look, and you can take this from daytime to nighttime. I actually found this girl on my explore page. Her name is Tailor Made Jane, and she is literally so beautiful, and I was like, oh my god, I really want to do a look like this. So I'm going to be taking some inspiration from her look. I won't be doing it completely, but I love the pink eyeliner. Hopefully this tutorial will be fun for you guys to learn something, but then also to come and catch up with me as well, you know, have a little bit of girly time. It's just putting on the P. Louise eyeshadow base in room number 2. For anyone who has been following my vlogs and has been following along my little house buying journey, oh guys, I put in an offer and it got rejected for a house. I kind of explained a bit more in last week's vlog, but I am really, really sad, guys. I don't know why this house kept playing on my mind. Even though I do feel like Gran likes this house more than me, I feel like because I know I can't get it, it makes me want it even more. I'm literally one of those annoying people that if you tell me not to push the button, I want to push that damn button. Why am I like this? Okay, so I actually just got a brand new palette in from Morphe. I actually dropped a drink on it earlier, so now it's all stained. But this is the 35C Everyday Chic palette. It's quite like a bit more neutral, but it still has kind of like really fun pops of colour that's not too bold. I also got some really new cool products from a brand called Sheen Cosmetics. So I really want to play with like these pink kind of eyeliners. I think it'll be really, really fun to use these as eyeshadow bases. Okay, so I've definitely noticed that when I'm wearing a mask, all you can see is the eyes. So I want to do something a bit more fun today. I'm going to go in with the Epic liner in the shade Bubblegum. It's like a really nice kind of hot pink. I'm just going to spray it with a bit of All Nighter setting spray. And then I'll just spray my face as well while we're here. The more the merrier. Okay, so I'm just using this as an eyeshadow base. I feel like it's been a long ass time since I've done a spotlight eye, guys. I've been doing cut creases like crazy recently. Okay, so I just done my little, you know, for the spotlight eye. Now we're gonna grab this shade here. I'm just gonna start to blend this out. Also, guys, I did want to say thank you so much for all the love you guys gave me on me and Danny's video. Whenever I film with Danny, I just feel like we have so much like chemistry. We literally just bounce off each other so well. Like, he will finish my sentence, or when I finish a sentence, he'll jump in and just like say something else, and the conversation just flows so well. We really wanted to film like a little series or something on our channel that is, you know, a bit more regular. So I would love to know what you guys think about that. I really want to film another video where he reacts to my followers' confessions, because I feel like me and him are like really funny together. Let me know if you guys want to see him a bit more on my channel. I don't know if we'll be drinking all the time. If you guys like to see us a little bit loose like that, let us know. We can probably recreate that again. So I went in with this palette from Be Perfect. It's the XL Pro palette, and they have this kind of like bright pink here. It's called Peptalk, and I'm just kind of like putting this into the crease just to like amp it up a bit. All right, guys, it's time to kind of like deepen up this crease a little bit because it looks a bit crazy. So I'm going in with this shade. It's kind of like a purpley kind of maroony kind of shade. It has a really nice purple dustiness to it, and then I'm just kind of like working this into the crease just so that it has a bit more depth, because at the moment it just looks like a bubble gum just popped on my eyelid. Okay, guys, I'm liking where this is going. That purple shade came out a lot more purple once I added the pink to it. I'm gonna go in with this Carnival palette, and I'm gonna use this shade called Ken. Okay, so I'm literally patting this on. The only thing about yellow, sometimes it can look a bit patchy. It's very similar. Like, if you guys have ever tried to pack on a white eyeshadow on your eyelid, that shit can be hella patchy sometimes. Okay, guys, so this is what it looks like so far. We're gonna go in with a pink liner now. So this is the Epic liner in the shade Polka Dot. Really nice like bubblegum pink. Just wet it up again. And I'm using this brush from Suva Beauty. Everyone always asks me about this brush. Okay, so I'm going to do the liner quite thick. With my eyes, they're so wrinkly that I have to make the liner quite thick. Otherwise, when I open my eyes, you can't see shit. Okay, guys, so I just stuck the lashes on. I feel like it makes it look a bit better, you know, not as beady-eyed. These are Sydney lashes from Lily Lashes. I am going to add a little bit of glitter. Okay, so inside of this Morphe palette, it has a really nice pink glitter. I like pressed glitters because you don't have to use another base. It just sticks on by itself. Okay, so on my lips now, you have to remember when you are wearing a mask, of course you want to go for something matte. There's literally no point in putting a glossy red lip underneath your mask because it's just gonna imprint off. So I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk, and I'm gonna fill in my whole lip with this just so that it lasts a bit longer. This Pillowtalk shade is a really cute shade. No wonder it's so popular. Okay, I'm just taking a little bit of this bubblegum shade. That's actually an eyeliner. I'm just going to pat it in just so it blends in with the eyes a bit more, you know. Okay, guys, so that's it for this makeup look. Let me try it on with the mask. Oh, yes, bad bitch, hey. Okay, so as you guys can see, there is hardly any makeup that transferred. You guys can see probably the lips a little bit. It's got a bit of a pink stain to it. But the main thing you guys want to focus on is to layer up your foundation. I think that's where I was going really, really wrong. When I first started to wear masks and stuff, I was wearing like thick layers of foundation and then it would just smear and I wasn't applying on the powders in between the layers. I have looked in natural lighting and also the lighting in my bedroom, which can be really, really harsh sometimes, and I feel like I look like a little Barbie doll. Also, let me know if you guys enjoy seeing these kind of like tip focused videos. I really wanted to film a 5 tips on how to make your makeup look really good in photography, but I don't know if you guys are interested in makeup looks anymore. anymore. I don't feel like anyone's really wearing makeup. No one's really going out these days. So I wasn't really sure what to do on the makeup kind of side of my channel. But I would love your recommendations down below on any video ideas you guys want me to film. And that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. And then I just post a little bit on my chin as well. I just post a little bit on my chin. Is my chin Instagram or something? What the hell? Just let me get a few last seconds with the fan before I start. The forehead sweat. Even my water is sweating. Just as I was about to start talking, someone knocks at the door. Oh my god. Enjoy the last few seconds of the fan. Turbo mode! I know that was a bit long-winded to make your makeup... Just, why is this like a fucking kennel up in here? I'm so sorry for the barking, guys. I'm a doggy mum for the next couple of weeks and I totally forgot what it's like to have a dog and they're constantly yapping. Okay, I'm back. Gran's trying to come in.
Hi, bitch.
Shut up. My phone is like ding, 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 ding. But when I'm home alone, no one wants to message me. As soon as I film, it's like, oh, I'm the most popular girl in high school. Guys, look at this. I slicked down my baby hairs with my sweat. Just so that it's similar to that bubblegum. Oh my god, no wonder people are unsubscribing from my channel. Demonetization will be the death of me. Oh, well, you're going to tropical country. See ya. Gonna flap my bingo wings. Goodbye.